Good morning, fabulous people. This is Shauna, the Tax Goddess. Today, I want to talk about side gigs and starting a small business. So during COVID, in 2020, we actually saw quite a few entrepreneurial souls start a new business, okay? And that might have been something as simple as bringing on a side gig, like driving for Uber or Lyft. For a lot of people, that was delivering groceries, Instacart, or picking up food like DoorDash. So a lot of these kind of easy to do side gigs where the business was already ready for you and you were kind of fitting yourself into their pattern, all the way to actually starting a small business. Maybe you lost your job and now you said, you know what, I have a passion in doing this thing. I'm going to go start my own business. I don't want to be beholden to anyone else anymore, other than, of course, your clients. But I want to do my own thing, right? I'm smarter, better, faster than my boss. Let's go do this thing, whatever it is. Okay. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up as a subject. So Tax Goddess has helped thousands of small businesses start their entities, get themselves set up on payroll if they need it, help for payroll for their staff, pick which type of taxation. So there's the legal side of entity formation. Should you be an LLC or an Inc. or a partnership? And then there's the tax side. So should your LLC be taxed as a sole proprietorship? Should it be taxed as an S Corp? All of these types of questions. But what I wanted to cover today, right, most importantly, so side note, if you have any questions on any of the rest of that, if you've opened a business and you're totally lost, reach out to the team. We can help, okay? taxgoddess.com. You can always find us. But what I wanted to cover today is we're about to head into tax season, right? Today is January 26th, day of filming. We are right at the beginning of tax season. Now, if you've started a side gig, if you've started a small business, there are special things that you need to do within your tax return to make sure that you're keeping the IRS happy, okay? And of course, that we're all about keeping you happy, keeping the money in your pocket. So definitely watch our YouTube channel. If you're not already subscribed, there's tons of videos all about different kinds of tax strategies and things that you can do to reduce your tax burden. But here I want to talk about what are the things that you absolutely must do to keep the IRS happy. Now, first one is report every dollar of your income, all of it, every single dollar. Okay. There's a lot of confusion going on around 1099s. Should you get a 1099? How much should be on the 1099? Does that include the reimbursements? Like if you're driving for Uber or DoorDash, does that include the reimbursements for mileage? Tons of questions on that. Definitely ask us, reach out on YouTube or send us a message, Tax Goddess. We'd be happy to try to answer some questions for you. You can also find us on Facebook. We do have a group there. So great place for questions, tax strategies that save entrepreneurs thousands. But sorry, guys, I'm jumping all over the place because this is really a huge topic. So let's try and stay focused. What are the forms? What do I need to file? Okay. Now, if you've started a small business or a side gig, most likely you're going to file what's called a Schedule C, C as in cat, on your personal tax return. It's going to be inside your personal tax return. It is not it's not a separate tax return unless you choose to be a partnership or an S Corp or a C Corp. Okay. So it's going to be inside your personal tax return. It's going to be reported, or you want to report it. Let's back up. You want to report it on Schedule C, as in cat. Okay. Now, the reason why you want to report it on Schedule C, having a business is the best tax write-off in the entire tax code, all of it. Okay. Once you have a business, the door opens up to you as to what other types of tax strategies that you can write off. So now you can have a home office. Now you can take mileage. You can pay for a part of your personal cell phone. You might even be able to get, like if you have to purchase logoed clothes that say DoorDash on them, that's actually a tax deduction. You might be able to write off that new iPad that you bought so you can have it mounted in your car to go out driving around and you can clearly see the maps. There are millions of tax deductions for business owners. Having a side gig does mean that equals you are a business owner in the eyes of the IRS. Okay, so it's a huge new door that you've opened. So you have to file Schedule C, C as in cat. I should say you don't have to. You could file online on page 1 of your tax return. Okay, there is a line there for other income. Go with Schedule C. Okay, if you want those tax write-offs, go with Schedule C as in cat. That is where you're going to get all of your tax write-offs. Okay, so side note, if TurboTax or your CPA is trying to put it on page 1 of your tax return or Schedule 1 of your tax return, go with Schedule C. You absolutely want to be on Schedule C as CAT. Okay. Now, you've brought in your income. Every dollar, so this is step number one, report every single dollar. Okay. Do not be Al Capone. Do not be hiding money from the IRS. They will find it. Okay. And you will not be happy with that outcome. Okay. So always, always, always report every single dollar of income that you receive. All of it, every single dollar. And the reason why I'm so adamant about reporting every single dollar is, one, I don't want you guys going to jail. Not a good thing. Okay. And two, by reporting every dollar, you also get to report every dollar of your expenses. Okay. So this is step two, is track all of your expenses. Now, at this point, of course, we are into January of 2022. So we're working on the tax filing season for 2021, right? So you might have to go backwards through your bank statements, maybe through your credit card statements. I would suggest that you actually highlight or star or something on your bank statements or credit card statements what expenses relate to the business. So the question here, as far as what's going to relate to your side gig or your small business, what is ordinary and what is necessary to do your job. So remember, I mentioned that iPad. Well, if you've got bad eyes, like me, I wear glasses, right? It's very hard for me to read a map on a cell phone, right? But if I have an iPad in my car, I can clearly see the map. I can do my job, ordinary and necessary. I can do my job of doing food delivery much better, much more efficient, much easier, because I have a giant map and I can see where I'm going and I can see the upcoming turn. So ordinary and necessary, those are the two key words that the IRS actually uses. Those are the words the IRS uses if they were ever to come to audit you or to come look. Ordinary and necessary. So make sure you have the backup in your own mind, as well as the physical backup, like your receipts, bank statements, credit card statements, starred, notes on them as to what this was and why was it ordinary and necessary for you in your business. Okay. So that's step two. So step one, report all of your income. Step two, report all of your expenses. Okay. Step three is kind of easy, but this is where we get some taxes. Okay. Step three is we're going to take your income minus your expenses, and now we're going to have what's called net profit. Okay, that's the common CPA term, common accounting term for it is net profit. So with your net profit, that is what you're going to pay taxes on. Okay, now in some cases, your expenses are more than your income. So let's say, for example, you started DoorDash, but you only started in December. Well, you had to buy an iPad and a phone, and there's all this mileage and gas, and you only had 5 drives. That's okay. It's okay for your first, second, maybe even into the third year of business, side gig, small business, to be at a loss. That's acceptable. The IRS understands that starting up a new venture often is going to lead to losses. Okay. So cool thing, side note here, those losses can offset. If you had a W-2 in the first part of the year and you had losses in your business, those two things offset each other and reduce your taxes. But that's another topic for another video. Okay. So if you get losses, great. I mean, of course, we never want losses. We always want to make money, right? We've got to have the intention to make money. But if you have losses, fine. Those losses will offset any other income. They might carry forward. If you have enough losses, they might carry forward to the next year so that you have income if you have income next year and you had losses this year, they might offset each other. This is where it starts to get a little more, you kind of need a CPA that specializes in business, the team, to help you with this kind of stuff. Okay. But if you have a profit, this is where there's now another form that you need to file with your tax return. Okay. And it's Schedule SE. So let's call it strategic earnings. Okay. But it actually stands for self-employment. SE, self-employment. Those are the self-employment taxes that you need to pay on any profit that you make. Okay. So the thought here is, let's just keep it easy. If you make $10,000 worth of profit in your first year, congratulations. Okay. And that's after all of your expenses. This is net profit after all of your expenses, including home office, including cars and mileages and all the expenses you can think of. Okay. If you make a profit, you will pay 0.153, 15.3% self-employment SE taxes on that $10,000. Okay. So on that $10,000, you're going to pay $1,530, and you have to pay income tax. So it's self-employment tax and income tax on top of that $10,000. Okay. So you actually want to be looking at the entire amount of taxes. But in your personal tax return, you're going to want that Schedule C because that's going to give you the most deductions. And you have to file that SE, self-employment tax form. So make sure you don't miss those. Make sure you're calculating them. If this is way too much for you and you just want to go do your DoorDash and you want somebody to handle all of this for you, definitely reach out to our team, taxgoddess.com. This is what we do for a living. This is what we love, is helping small to medium-sized businesses, especially family-owned, self-owned private businesses. That's what we love, keeping your money in your pocket. So hopefully getting you to a loss, but you're still making cash. There are strategies for that. So anyway, y'all have a great day and subscribe to YouTube. We'd absolutely love to have you as a subscriber. And if you need help, if this is terribly confusing for you, reach out to Tax Goddess. We'd love to help you. And in the meantime, y'all have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye.